Hey, this is Rob with Road Dirt, and we are at Flying Brothers Motorcycle Parts and Accessories with our friends Jake and Chris. And what's happening, everybody? Good to see my friends here, man. Good to hang out with you guys. Yep. So I love this little shop in Lawrenceville, Georgia. A good couple of guys here that do really good quality work. So, fall is in the air. Cooler temperatures, brighter days. The leaves are changing, and it's road trip season.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. And I've got my bike with the fellas here because we're gonna do some things, get it ready for a big road trip in the next week or so. And a lot of folks just take off and ride. And but your motorcycle, just like you need to prepare for a road trip, your motorcycle needs some prep also. And we're going to talk to Jake and Chris and go through, because actually they've got my Bonneville up on the jack right there. And we're going to talk through just some of the basics of what you need to prepare your bike for if you're doing a road trip this fall. So let's get started. Well, Jake, Chris, what are some things that that really riders need to give attention to when they're getting ready for a big road trip in the fall?
Really just checking like tire pressure, doing an oil change regularly, change your brake fluid yearly. I recommend doing your brake fluid yearly. Checking your brake pads, that's another big thing. And also checking chain slack if you have a chain drive. Keeping good lube on there and cleaning your chain regularly. I recommend lubing your chain every 2 rides if you ride a lot.
Man, I'm falling down on that, man. I need to do better about that.
It really helps with chain maintenance. Extends the life of the chain, keeping it looped and everything.
Always check your tires too.
Yep.
Always. In fact, the boys are putting a new one on for me.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Also, check your battery too. Don't want to die in the middle
No,
of the
that's
road.
for sure. If you're starting to get where it's kind of hiccuping before you start, you're not really getting good, then it might be time to check the battery too. Yeah, swap a battery out. Well, let's get started here. Well, we're actually a little shameless plug here for Liqui-Moly.
Yep.
Jake and Chris are going to use their fluids for the bike right here. So, going to start with an oil change.
Yes. We're gonna start with the engine flush. So before we warm the bike up, we're gonna go ahead and add the engine flush shooter.
And this is pretty much going to clean out all the gunks and everything that's in your oil and throughout the freaking, what you want to call it? Yeah, his engine.
All that.
Pretty
Yeah.
much just cleans it out and gives it more space to work and not work harder. So
I've never really thought about using an engine cleaner shooter like that before. I've just done oil changes.
yeah,
But that's why you guys do what you do and I don't.
And it gets rid of most of the old oil. That way you're not really, when you put new oil in, and it makes it dark again. So it eliminates most of that. So
Well, that's cool. So after putting in that flush, what are we doing here?
We're letting the bike warm up for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let it get hot. Allows the oil to cycle through and lets the engine flush come together with the oil. And once it's hot, drain the oil all out.
Nice. Getting ready to drain the oil out. I do have a question, Jake, and this is one that I think people with automobiles as well as motorcycles have this question. You always hear about service intervals being like 3,000 miles on, oil life and on filter life. But with modern engines and modern synthetic oils and, the modern technology that goes into filters, what's really realistically, what's a good oil change interval nowadays?
Honestly, that anywhere from that 3,000 to 5,000 mile really keeping up with the oil is a really good thing.
So you think you would suggest still staying between 3 and 5,000 as far as an interval, even with modern oils, huh?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend that.
Okay.
Probably more around the 4,000 to 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. Good question. I have had people ask me before I've thought about it, so yeah. Always good to keep the chain in good working order, obviously. Something I think a lot of people neglect, as well as tire pressure, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They need to. Got a lot of guys that their sprockets are worn. And they'll think the clutch is slipping, but it's really just the chain. The sprockets are bad.
For real. So it's good to give it a good cleaning, and then give it a good lubing. Got a new tire on the front, which I needed. And getting ready to do a brake bleed, rear and front. I've never done this one.
Yeah, it'll completely drain the reservoir. Just completely drain it out. Get all that bad fluid out of there.
Nice.
All right, you can add that.
Man, a tool like that makes it easy.
Don't have to do nothing.
Yep. Very cool, man. It does it all from right there at the caliper. And now this thing here, this unit, driven by an air compressor, drains right there. And just refill it as it goes. Boy, that makes brake bleeding a whole lot easier. Good night. That's incredible. I need one of those. Nah, I'm just going to come to you, man.
And your fluid's a little bit more clear.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's brake bleed, front and rear. New front tire, chain cleaning. What else did we do, Jake? Give it an oil and filter change. And man, bike should be ready to roll for the next road trip, which is coming up in a few days. So if you need to, get some things done before a road trip, man, this is a good time to do it. And those are some of the elementals, some of the basics that are important to give attention to. So this is Rob with my buddies Jake and Chris with Flying Brothers Motorcycle Garage, encouraging you to ride live.